around the clock. This is News 12, New Jersey.
I'm Eric Lanskroner. Some of New Jersey's most vulnerable students are being physically restrained at school, held by their wrists, ankles, or pinned down, unable to move. It's allowed under state law, and schools say it's sometimes necessary. Critics call it barbaric. Walt Kane in your corner to begin an investigation you'll see only on News 12 New Jersey.
Elementary and middle school students wrestled to the floor and pinned down.
It was like I was an animal. They were holding me like an animal.
They're not criminals, just kids with special needs.
They hold me down like through this.
Is this necessary to protect students?
There's occasions when you have to restrain.
We're nothing more than legalized child abuse.
One child asked me why it's okay for teachers to hurt little boys.
Before you answer, consider this. Scenes like this happen in schools across New Jersey. They could be happening at yours. Meet Brandon. Last year, his parents began to wonder what was going on at his school.
My child was coming home with bruises on his arms, hand marks.
When she asked for an explanation, school personnel told her Brandon was out of control and had to be physically restrained.
Do this to me, and it get red.
It would hurt?
Don't hurt. And it's ow. It hurts.
He's always been a happy child. And he did not deserve what he got.
His parents were furious. Like many kids with Down syndrome, Brandon has enlarged vertebrae in his neck, leaving him at risk of serious injury. Officials at Hawkswood School declined to be interviewed, but say their educators follow state law and policy.
The person said that he had become combative.
Even after 20 years, Rick Tallman can't forget the day his son, Jason, was restrained at a residential facility.
They physically restrained him, and he passed out.
Jason died at the hospital. He suffocated after being pinned to the floor, face down.
The person who was restraining my son, he kept saying, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. But they all say that.
A staff member was charged in his death, but found not guilty.
It's very dehumanizing.
Rachel Labrador's daughter, Chelsea, had a meltdown as she was about to perform on stage at East Hanover Middle School.
I was humiliated, so I went in the girls' locker room.
What happened next depends on who you believe.
They restrained me. They held me by my two wrists.
And Chelsea says 2 of the 3 people who restrained her weren't trained staff. They were the parents of other kids.
The principal was behind me, holding me by the wrists, while one parent was holding my 2 ankles.
How did it make you feel?
I hated it. They were holding me like an animal. It was so cruel. Why are you holding my child down? Who are you? What business do you have in here?
The principal insists only she restrained Chelsea. But Chelsea's mom says her daughter's autism makes it nearly impossible for her to lie.
It's very hard for her, if ever, to say something other than exactly what happened.
Your child should not be fearful of coming to school, and your child should not be physically hurt or emotionally hurt at school.
Renee Zamlin is an education advocate. She spent much of her career fighting against the use of restraint on kids with special needs.
I hear from them that they can't breathe. I hear from them that they feel like their bodies are going to explode, their lungs are going to explode. Nobody's there to help them.
Sometimes you really have no choice.
Robert Mooney is the school superintendent in East Hanover. Of the dozens of educators we called across the state, he was the only one willing to talk to us. But he said he could not talk specifically about Chelsea. Has there ever been a time, to your knowledge, that any student has been restrained not only by trained personnel but by untrained parents?
Not to the best of my knowledge.
Mooney says he understands restraint is controversial, but says when a child is out of control, it may be the only option.
We couldn't, for example, decide not to have one of these gentle or safe holds on a child and have another child injured as a result of that.
But parents of kids who've been restrained don't agree.
I don't want to be one of them that gets the call, your son is dead.
Now, there are almost no rules governing exactly how and when restraint can be used in New Jersey schools. So should more be done to protect our kids? I will investigate that tomorrow. To express your opinion on tonight's story, but tell me something I need to investigate, call me at 732-738-KANE. Email KaneInYourCorner@news12.com or find me on Facebook at Kane in Your Corner.
I can't even begin to express how alarmed I am at seeing these cases. Are these extreme cases? Are these the exceptions or are these the rules?
That really depends on who you ask. The administrators that I have talked to, many off the record, only one on camera, say, and they seem very passionate in that these are very rare cases and it only happens when it's needed. That education advocate that I interviewed, Renee Zamlut, says she has personally represented more than 100 special needs kids that this has happened to, just in her practice.
And can parents say, I absolutely under no circumstances want this type of treatment, this type of action taken if something happens with my student, my son or daughter in school?
They can, but the school district doesn't have to follow that. Under the law, school personnel can use reasonable force in an emergency. I mean, obviously they can break up a fight, so they can do it if a child, whether that child or another child might be in danger, or if property is being damaged. And that part about property, some advocates say, is so vague, it pretty much means that any district can do pretty much what they want.
All right, very eye-opening. Walt Kane, thank you.
I'm Miguel.